Salutations to all our future judges. In this video, we are going to see the Code of Civil Procedure 1908 Part 6, Sections 17 to 21A. And these sections have been framed as questions, particularly in the form of a multiple choice questions, so that you get trained for your judicial exams. And this is the second test series. If you have not seen part 5, which is also a test series, I am providing the link in the iCard. You can please go and watch and attend that particular test series, and then you can try to attend this test series. Multiple choice questions from section 17 to 21A of the Civil Procedure Code 1908. The first question: three properties of A are situated in Mumbai, Delhi and Chennai. So it means one property is in Mumbai, the other property is in Delhi, the next property is in Chennai. There are three properties in three different cities. In this scenario, A dies intestate. One of the legal heir of A wants to file a suit for partition. Then he can file the partition suit in which of the following places? A. Chennai, B. Mumbai, C. Delhi, D. Any one of the above three cities. You'll be given a minute's time to answer this question. The answer is any one of the above three cities. Let us move to question number 2. There is one Mr. Ram. He files a suit for partition of three properties, and the value of all those three properties put together is rupees 20 lakhs. He files this partition suit in a district municipal court. So, what is your opinion about this particular situation? A. The suit should not be entertained by the district municipal court. B. The suit papers should be returned to the plaintiff by the district municipal court for want of pecuniary jurisdiction. C. The suit should be filed before the principal district judge within the jurisdiction where any of the property is situated. D. All the above. You'll be given some time to think and answer this particular question. The answer is all the above. Question number 3. There is a big bungalow, and a part of this big bungalow, one part of this big bungalow lies in a district A, and the other part of the same bungalow lies in the next district which is adjacent to district A, which is district B. If a person wants to file a suit for declaration with respect to the entire bungalow, not just a part of it, he wants to file a suit for declaration with respect to the entire bungalow, then in which place he has to file the suit, and what steps should be taken by the court when the suit is filed. When he files a suit, what the court should do. The first option is option A. Suit can be filed in District A or District B, and court should record the ground for the alleged uncertainty with respect to jurisdiction before proceeding with the case. Option B. Suit should be filed in District A only, and court can proceed with the case as in a normal course. C. Suit should be filed in District B only, and court can proceed with the case as in a normal course. Option D. Suit should not be entertained by the court in District A or District B since the jurisdiction is uncertain. The answer is option A. Suit can be filed in District A or District B, and court should record the ground for the alleged uncertainty with respect to jurisdiction before proceeding with the case. Let us move to question number 5. Suit for compensation for wrongs to person can be filed. Option A. Within the local limits of the jurisdiction of the court where the wrong was done. B. Within the local limits of the jurisdiction of the court where the defendant resides. C. Within the local limits of the jurisdiction of the court where the defendant carries on business or personally works for gain. D. Any of the above said courts. The answer is any of the above said courts. Question number 6. A residing in Delhi beats B in Calcutta. Then option A. B may sue A only in Calcutta. B. B may sue A only in Delhi. C. B may sue A in Calcutta or in Delhi. D. None of the above. The answer is B may sue in Calcutta or in Delhi. Question number 7. A residing in Delhi publishes in Calcutta statements defamatory of B. Option A. B may sue A either in Calcutta or in Delhi. B. B may sue A in Calcutta only. C. B may sue A in Delhi only. D. None of the above. The answer is B. May sue A either in Calcutta or in Delhi. Question number 8. According to section 20 of the Civil Procedure Code 1908, every suit shall be instituted A. Where the defendant resides or carries on business or personally works for gain. B. Where the cause of action wholly or in part arises. C. Where the plaintiff resides. D. Only A and B. The answer is only A and B. Question number 9. A is a tradesman in Calcutta. B carries on business in Delhi. B, by his agent in Calcutta, buys goods of A and requests A to deliver them to the East Indian Railway Company. A delivers the goods accordingly in Calcutta. A may sue B for the price of the goods in option A, any city within India. Option B, Calcutta, where the cause of action has arisen. C, Delhi, where B carries on business. D. Calcutta or Delhi. The answer is option D. Calcutta or Delhi. Question number 10. A resides at Simla, B at Calcutta, and C at Delhi. A, B, and C they go together to Benares, and in Benares, B and C make a joint promissory note payable on demand and deliver it to A. A may sue B and C at option A, Benares, where the cause of action arose, B, Calcutta, where B resides, C, Delhi, where C resides, D, Benares, where the cause of action arose, or he may also sue them at Calcutta, where B resides, or at Delhi, where C resides. But in each of these cases, if the non-resident defendant objects, the suit cannot proceed without the leave of the court. The answer is option D, Benares, where the cause of action arose, or he may also sue them at Calcutta, where B resides, or at Delhi, where C resides. But in each of these cases, if the non-resident defendant objects, the suit cannot proceed without the leave of the court. Question number 11. Appellate or revisional court shall not entertain objection as to place of suing. A. unless it was raised in the court of first instance at the earliest possible opportunity. B. Unless it was raised at or before settlement of issue in the suit. C. Unless there has been a failure of justice due to entertaining of the case without jurisdiction. Option D. Unless all the above aspects are made out. The answer is unless all the above aspects are made out. Question number 12. No objection as to the competence of a court with reference to the pecuniary limits of its jurisdiction shall be allowed by any appellate or revisional court unless the defendant files an affidavit for rejection of plaint. Option B. Unless the plaintiff withdraws the suit. C. Unless such objection was taken in the court of first instance at the earliest possible opportunity, and in all cases where issues are settled at or before such settlement, and unless there has been a consequent failure of justice. D. None of the above. The answer is option C. Unless such objection was taken in the court of first instance at the earliest possible opportunity, and in all cases where issues are settled at or before such settlement, and unless there has been a consequent failure of justice. Question number 13. The conditions provided in section 20 subclause 3 in connection with objections to jurisdiction are A. Applicable only to certain execution courts. B. Applicable to all execution courts. C. Not applicable to execution courts. D. None of the above. The answer is option B. Applicable to all execution courts. Question number 14. If a decree is passed in a former suit between the same parties or between the parties under whom they or any of them claim, litigating under the same title, then A. No suit shall lie challenging the validity of a decree passed in a former suit on any ground based on an objection as to the place of suing. B. A suit shall lie challenging the validity of a decree passed in a former suit on any ground based on an objection as to the place of suing. C. Decree in the former suit should be dismissed in the appeal to entertain another suit challenging on the grounds of place of suing. D. None of the above. The answer is no suit shall lie challenging the validity of a decree passed in a former suit on any ground based on an objection as to the place of suing. Question number 15. This is the last question. The expression former suit means a suit, option A, which has been decided prior to the decision in the suit in which the validity of the decree is questioned. Option B, whether or not the previously decided suit was instituted prior to the suit in which the validity of such decree is questioned. C, A and B only. D, none of the above. The answer is A and B only. If you like the video, please do press the thumbs up button and leave your comments in the comment section. And do subscribe the channel and also share the channel with your friends. Let us join hands together and contribute for a learned society. Thank you.